Have you ever noticed how some people seem to glide through life with ease? They don't always work the hardest or have the highest IQ, yet blessings seem to fall effortlessly into their laps. Is it destiny? Is it just random luck? Or could it be that there's a deeper secret at play, something subtle yet powerful, hidden in the way they live, think, and relate to others? Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the unseen laws that shape your reality. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of luck. Real luck, not superstition, not lottery ticket miracles, but the kind of luck that flows steadily into people's lives like an invisible river, transforming setbacks into opportunities and delays into divine timing. You're about to discover the truth behind those who seem blessed and why they are. Because what we often call luck is more like a byproduct of mindset, character, and energy. And once you learn these hidden traits, you can begin to cultivate your own unshakable field of fortune. Let me start by telling you a seemingly simple story. There's a woman named Marie who runs a modest breakfast shop on a corner of a busy city street. Every morning, long before sunrise, he rises to prepare rice rolls, soy milk, and warm pancakes. Her shop is small, humble even, but it's always packed, not because her food is Michelin-starred, but because of the energy he brings. Every customer is greeted with a warm smile. He remembers their names, their usual orders, their kids' names. He says things like, "Still no cilantro today, right?" Or "How's your mother doing?" And when someone forgets their wallet, he waves it off and says, "You can pay tomorrow." One morning, a man collapses just outside her store. Heart attack. Without hesitation, he calls for help, gives first aid, and waits until the ambulance arrives. He doesn't know him. He doesn't think about reward. Weeks later, that same man returns, fully recovered, with his family. Grateful beyond words, he offers to invest in her store, to help her grow it into a chain. He gently declines the chain offer, but accepts the help to renovate and expand the shop he loves. Some people call it karma, others call it coincidence, but here's the truth: she wasn't lucky. He was living in alignment with values that invite luck to stay. Now let's go deeper. What are these unseen traits that attract good fortune? The first is a subtle but powerful quality: self-awareness. You see, people who radiate luck are deeply attuned to themselves. They aren't perfect, but they are present. They notice their thoughts. They listen to their inner world. When anger rises, they don't suppress it blindly or act on it destructively. They watch it. When jealousy arises, they don't let it poison relationships. They reflect. This inner observation creates a kind of mental hygiene, prevents the buildup of energetic clutter. Their minds become clear vessels, ready to receive, ready to respond, rather than react. Modern psychology calls it metacognition. Ancient wisdom calls it watching the watcher. Either way, it's the same truth. Those who can observe their own minds gain mastery over their destiny. Second, lucky people have emotional stability. They don't explode at every slight. They don't get derailed by disappointment. They don't swing wildly between ecstasy and despair. Their calmness is not apatheist groundedness, and in that steadiness, opportunities feel safe to land, relationships blossom, challenges are faced with resilience, not panic. There's an old saying, a calm mind is the magnet of miracles. Next comes compassion. You might think this is obvious, but let me clarify. We're not talking about performative kindness, the kind you show to get something back. We're talking about an authentic, quiet compassion that reveals itself in 1,000 little gestures. It's the coworker who helps without being asked, the friend who listens without judgment, the stranger who picks up your dropped wallet and runs after you. This kind of compassion creates what spiritual traditions call virtue fields. These are energetic environments that attract support, goodwill, and unseen protection. It's why some people always land on their feet. They've built a life that the universe itself wants to nurture. Another trait of the fortunate is contentment. Just simple, quiet contentment. Not laziness, not complacency, but the ability to appreciate what is while working for what could be. Have you noticed that people who are always chasing the next thing never seem satisfied no matter what they achieve? Contrast this with someone who finds joy in the ordinary: a sunset, a clean kitchen, a shared meal. That frequency of gratitude isn't just peaceful, it's magnetic. The universe responds to joy, multiplies it, and those who recognize blessings, even in difficulty, are given more to be thankful for. Let's talk now about alignment. People with high fortune live in alignment with their values. Their decisions reflect their beliefs. Their outer actions match their inner compass. And when you live in alignment, life becomes synchronistic. You meet the right people at the right time. You hear the advice you didn't even know you needed. Doors open. Not because you forced them, but because you were walking the right hallway. I want to share a powerful personal example. A friend of mine once said, "I'm not the smartest, but I listen to life." That phrase stuck with me. He wasn't driven by ambition in the traditional sense, but he paid attention to signs, to feelings, to whispers of intuition. One day, he turned down a job offer with double the salary because it didn't feel right. A month later, the company that made the offer collapsed in a scandal. Meanwhile, he ended up in a startup that later went public and changed his life. Was that luck, or was that inner attunement? There's also the concept of merit. In spiritual traditions, merit is not about ego or pride. It is about the accumulation of positive intention and action over time. You may not see it immediately, but it builds like savings in an invisible bank. The late-night act of kindness. The time you forgave instead of retaliated. The encouragement you gave when no one else did. All of it counts. All of it adds up. And one day, when you least expect it, it returns in the form of protection, support, and grace. Let me give you one final principle that lucky people seem to live by: openness. They don't cling to plans like lifelines. They make room for the unexpected. They trust that if something is removed, something better is making its way. This doesn't mean they lack structure, but they don't worship control. They walk with intention, not rigidity. That is when life flows. So now, let me ask you, are you living in a way that invites fortune, or are you unknowingly resisting it? Here's a reflection. Do you make space for silence and self-awareness? Do you let gratitude color your perception? Do you serve even when no one is watching? Do you rest in joy even before results come? If yes, then you're already lucky, not because of chance, but because of choice. We're building an inner architecture that luck can find and stay in. True fortune isn't won, it's cultivated. brick by brick, ways by choice, moment by moment. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your eyes or warmed your heart, let us know in the comments. What's the most unexpected blessing you've ever received? Do you believe it was coincidence or something more? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with someone who could use a little more light in their life. See you in the next video.
Before you leave, here's something special. In Buddhism, we believe that every encounter carries a deeper meaning. Would you like to discover your true soul connection, the one written into your destiny? Take the Soulmate Test today and unveil the hidden truths of your journey. Click the link below and begin your path now.
http://soulmate. You wisdom more, come, white.